For more on what this means for Intel and for America's semiconductor industry, let's bring in Bernstein's Stacey Rasgon. Stacey, I want to get your thoughts on this. Is this good for Intel?
Well, I mean, it's good in the sense that they're getting dollars that they, may or may not have gotten otherwise. But at the same time, if they were supposed to get those dollars before, they were going to get them for free, and now they're giving up presumably 10% of the company for them. I think the biggest issue is, though, it's not really money. Like, Intel needs three things. They need money to build capacity, but they need customers to fill that capacity. And then to get the customers in, what they really need is capability. Like, if they can prove that they can make parts, they'll have plenty of customers. If they can't prove that, and they haven't proven it to this point, nobody's going to put any volume in there. It makes the capacity kind of moot. And so I actually don't know, like, long-term, if this helps them with that or not. Like, in my opinion, their lack of capability at this point has not really been about dollars. But to the extent that they need money to build out capacity, to get any of this going, I guess this will help. Although you could argue they were supposed to get this money anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see what the other details of this deal are. And I say this having covered the MP Materials deal with the Pentagon earlier this summer very, very closely, where the U.S. government also took a stake in that company, but also helped to set a floor for raw materials prices and help to ensure end customers for those rare earth magnets. And so to your point, the customer piece of this, I think, is going to be really crucial, especially since Intel does contract with the Pentagon.
And the thing is, there's not a whole lot that the government can do to help them attract customers. Like, look at it this way. If Intel can prove that they can make the parts that they need to make in high volume and can make them that meet spec and or have a good cost structure and are available on time, nobody will have to force any customers. They'll have customers lined up around the block to use them. But this is table stakes to make a foundry. If they can't prove that they can do that, who's going to put any material volume there? And nobody, right? Who will be able to bet their own product roadmap on Intel's ability to execute if they can't prove that they can execute? So, and that is not something that I think the government can really help with. Intel's going to have to prove that on their own.
All right. Does this basically cinch the idea that the foundry stays within the Intel business?
I don't know what this cinches, right? I mean, not necessarily. People have wondered, could they do a split? Could they not? They were clearly prepping to split it at some point, just given the way they'd set up the structure of the business. But the problem with the split right now is, again, it goes bankrupt immediately. Like, it lost, I don't know what it lost, $13 billion or something last year. This kinds of funding, I mean, wouldn't help with those losses. They would still be burning cash because, remember, it's going to take, even if they have processes, there are 14A processes in here till 2028. You need to be able to support the foundry. If it's running on its own, you need to be able to give it cash that they're going to basically light on fire between now and then until they can get those processes and those customers ramped up. In the meantime, if it's still combined with the product company, at least the cash flow from the product side can help to fund and support the foundry. Maybe that together with these extra funds can kind of carry them through across the chasm until they can get to 27 or 28 or whenever it is, when they would have these processes start to ramp, if in fact they are successful in developing those processes.